All right, we're live. Yeah. Okay. So today the goal is kind of half baked already, but we're gonna try to implement target locking. And so far, this is what we have. It's really, really basic. Long story short, every aircraft is gonna have a location to keep track of its currently locked aircraft, if it has one. If not, every frame is just going to check and see if there's someone in view who it can lock. Locking isn't going to be something you press a button to do. It's going to be kind of passive. Now, since the last stream, there have been a few changes. The biggest being the UI. Total rework. Well, not total rework, but a lot of big changes. So firstly, there's some changes in how this initial screen works. Oh, whoops. Hold on. I think I made an error somewhere here. I changed something that I shouldn't have changed. Play button. Okay. We're just going to leave it like this. That's what I changed. Anyway, the way the lobby now works, press lobby, and yeah, hell yeah. Thanks, man. But yeah, so the lobby has been changed a little bit. So the way lobbies now work, or at least the lobby UI, you can play, and if you want to join a lobby, you enter the lobby code, join, create, etc. Probably should add some error catching for these two now that I think about it. That's kind of important. I'll do that in a second. But you can close out of it too, and then if I just want to play, play. Now, this is where some big changes have come in. For one, we now have an actual mini-map. The bottom left mini-map, if another player joins, you will see them. It is a functioning mini-map / radar. Map is tricky. It's all done in a shader. It's just a quad with a really, not even fancy shader, but just a fancy shader applied. And the settings are now just well, if you press Alt, the settings window opens, which right now just shows your controls, but it will be a settings window. And you can see that in the top left. We also now have an actual compass at the top of your screen. That is also done almost entirely in a shader. That one was a little trickier. The mini-map was still by far the hardest shader, but that one was a little funky. And I just kind of cleaned up how everything looks. So honestly, it's I think a lot more ergonomic. Other than that, it's really been a lot of UI work kind of behind the scenes. Beyond UI work, let's see. Yeah, the things that need to be done still, because we're actually at a point where, like, once I have combat, we're done, and I need to finish this project. The burnout is real. So if you crash, all the UI disappears. That's one thing I'm not a big fan of, but that's okay. The problem is when you crash, you despawn, and then there's just 5 seconds of literally nothing. So we need to change that. But the question is, do we change that first, or do we add target locking? I think we had target locking just because, well, it's kind of already halfway there. Now, cool part about target locking. Anyone watching this stream can actively participate in development because target locking requires me to lock somebody. And I can play my demo version of this connecting to live games. So if anyone watching decided to get into a game, I can join them from my demo build and test features on my end that they don't have access to yet, like locking. So long story short, yeah. Then to get more attention, solo stuff. Yeah, that's the tricky part. I don't know. This project, I feel like if I had someone else working on it, I just get a lot of judgment for my code quality. But I will say I agree with the sentiment. Team projects, I like team projects much better. But yeah, long story short, the goal for today, and this is the web build, same functionality, completely the same. Shaders all work, everything works. But I need to test target locking. So target locking, the way it works so far, basically you have every frame on the client, this is not networked, it iterates through every aircraft in the scene. And let's go if you're being good. I sketchy code. Yeah, no kidding. Fair point. But basically, iterates through every aircraft in the scene. Skips over if it's our aircraft. If it's not, it gets the vector to the aircraft and its forward vector. And if that's within certain cone of direction, it's automatically locked. And it just locks the first aircraft it iterates through that fits that criteria. Pretty basic. Unlocking is basically if we have a locked aircraft and we are greater than 90 degrees away from it, so we're pretty far deviated from it, it just automatically unlocks. That needs to change. Is the public code? Is this code? Yeah, actually, the code is on GitHub. I'll pull it up. And just... yeah, here's the repo. That is the source code for this project. It's the live build. Actually, no, it's my current build. But yeah. So, long story short, that's what we have so far. It should work, but I have to test this. Let's see, locked aircraft, and then we'll just, no, there's no see, this autofill, man. What is it? What methods do it? We'll just do ID. Okay. And wait a minute. That doesn't make sense. That'll never happen. Here. There we go. Okay. Now, if any of y'all want to be that locked aircraft, join the game. Let me know that you're online, and I will actually be able to see. I'll be able to join you guys in the game. Let's see. On web. The server does have to wake up. Okay, there we go. Play. Yeah, for sure, dude. Go show. Let's see. Okay. So currently, I guess I'll just have to join myself. That's fine. That's fine. I see how it is, y'all. Okay. Play. Yep. Okay. And as you can see, the minimap does work. It should be locked. Or at least he should be locked. Let's see. Inspect console. Yep, he's locked. Now if I face away, so we're just gonna... yep, he unlocks. Okay, so locking now kind of works. The other thing we need is we need a UI element to indicate that they are locked. So what I'm thinking of for that, the UI will literally just be the flying aim reticle. Where is it? Like this thing, it'll just be a square. So yeah. And I think it'll make it red. Yeah, I think that makes more sense. I think I'll make it red. Or, no. It'll be green if you're not necessarily attacking it. Radar, what was it? Aim widget, mouse widget. It's, yeah, mouse widget. And we will call this one... oh, we need access to it. I've also changed how the widgets are added or managed. There's been some pretty big improvements. There's some pretty big errors that I just stupidly added. But lock widget. And also, I think, I'll make this bigger so y'all can see. A big complaint I always get is that no one can see the code I'm writing. But I'm on a widescreen monitor, so it means if y'all can see it, it's like ultra huge for me. Let's see, lock widget. And it'll be pretty much the exact same thing as the aim widget, except we will take this and we'll just set that to its border color. Okay. And then the other thing, yeah, for now it'll just be green. If, what was it, locked? Yeah, if this is null, if we have no locked aircraft, we'll say lock widget. Oh, we need access to that. I forgot. Okay, so we'll say, what was it? Aircraft widget layer. We don't really have that method. That's not really a thing, but that should probably be. Actually, do we have a disabled method on widgets? Let me think. Shader. Okay, we'll just move it off screen. We'll say lock widget the shared pointer rect widget lock widget equals aircraft widget. Well, what methods do I have? Gosh darn it, I wish I had my autocomplete set up properly. Let's see. Widget layer has a get widget by name. Widget does have a built-in position. So yeah, we'll just get widget by name. Get widget by name locked. Locked. Where's lock widget? I don't think that's what we called it earlier. So that'll be, let's see. Gosh darn it. Where the heck is it? Block. Wait. Yeah, there. CPP over C. Okay, so I was actually expecting you to say, why would I use C++ over JavaScript? Because this is running in the browser. The reason C++ over C, I like object-oriented programming. It's also, for the industry, at least the one I want to work in, kind of the gold standard. I like C++, though I appreciate C as well. If I was doing an embedded project or something, obviously I'd be working in C, but C++ just allowed me to achieve my goals in a way that worked better for me. But why I use C++ over JavaScript for making a web game is just because I hate JavaScript. I hate it. It has no bearing on what I want to do in the industry, and I hate it. So if I can avoid it, I will. And I like OpenGL. I love C++, and WebAssembly exists. And I kind of was excited for the challenge. So yeah, there's definitely an easier way to do what I'm doing, but I don't really care. Let's see. Because this is, yeah, okay, that should work. It didn't. Oh, wait. Yeah, it's just widget. And then otherwise, all we'll do, JavaScript is neat, though it's C-ish language. You can do things super fast. I would say C++ is more similar to JavaScript than C is, just because C doesn't have classes, C doesn't have objects. Objects literally don't exist in C. It's structures. Yeah. C and CPP united against JavaScript. 100% agree. Like, I know it's not possible for the web space, but yeah. Like, there was a language that came out a while back, Dart. I loved Dart. And it was supposed to be an attempt to kind of replace JavaScript. It was supposed to be like an alternative language for web browsers. Love it. Any of the downsides I see about it, for the web, it's the best option y'all have. I'm not saying C++ is at all better for the web. It's 100% not. But yeah, you can. Yeah, you can do that. 100% accurate. If you need to do heavy lifting in another language, totally doable. I just personally hate JavaScript and have no reason to build a project this big in a language I hate. Also, this project is supposed to help me learn more about computer networking, and just help me learn more about software engineering. And I need to learn more about C++. So this is a learning project for me. How does it know how to just? It does. So OpenGL C++, it's OpenGL and ES. So OpenGL for embedded systems. And when you compile with WebAssembly, it automatically maps it to WebGL calls. So yeah, essentially the thing is it's very limited OpenGL. It's kind of like part of the challenge is it doesn't have the full feature set of OpenGL. It's OpenGL ES. It's a much lighter version of OpenGL. So it's a trade-off. But yeah, effectively it's treated like WebGL in the browser. I think this should work. So I need to build this for the web, actually. And if I lock an aircraft, it should just have a little green item in the center of the screen. I will say, WebAssembly is very slow to build. Very slow to build. Compared to just compiling for desktop. If I don't have to compile for the web, I almost never do. It's just too much time. And for those of y'all wondering, this is a yogurt bowl with fruit in it. It's not quite done yet. Okay. That should work. Okay, we got 2 instances of this running, play. Okay, they're both in the game. Ah, there we go. Yep. Square, the lock widget works. But it does appear to be behind the... Transparency is not working very well for some reason. Okay, if I am having any sort of transparency issues, the lock widget needs to be rendered before the mouse widget. So we're going to say what was it, distance? Oh, wait, yeah, negative, what's the default Z distance? Z distance. Have a default value. Z distance, negative 1.0. Okay, so negative 0.95. That should help a little bit. And we'll build that. And now it works. The locking effectively works. Let me just check one more time, though. I realized I never nosed off the aircraft. And I don't want there to be any unforeseen bugs because I didn't test it enough. Let's see. Play. Okay, yeah, we're locked. There's our square. Transparency works now. And then we're going to unlock. Okay. So, doesn't quite work with unlocking. Why is that? A lock widget. Position.x. Is this scaling with UI? That could be it. Lock widget. We have position lock widget scale with what is it again? It's widget has a property. I think it's called move with aspect ratio. That's what it is. And then 2.0 should just be entirely off screen. So let me just lock widget position glm back 3 x will just be positive 2.0. Okay, build again, and then after that all we're gonna have to just do is translate world position to screen position, which I'm trying to remember how to do that. There's a very common way to do that. I think it might actually just be in Learn OpenGL. Let's see. Yeah. There should be a way to do this. Mouse picking. Actually, hold on. I did this in a previous project. I did it really poorly. Wait, no. Screen space to world space UI. GL. Yeah, projecting screen space to world space. Well, rather, no, it's world space to screen space. Space to screen space. Not orthographic. Well, I could do it orthographic. Well, I don't want. We'll cross that bridge when we got there. Let's see. Let's see. 3D. World space. Let's see. How would you pull WebGL? This is exactly what I'm looking for. How would you do this? Oh, shit. Okay. This seems like the best way that can compound on the browser. I was thinking... Well, that's kind of what it does. From what I understand, Emscripten, which is the web assembly compiling tool I'm using, what it does is any OpenGL calls that you make in C++, when the WebAssembly makes that call, automatically Emscripten maps that to just a JavaScript WebGL call, from what I understand. I did not go into much of a deep dive on that, but that's my general understanding. But yeah, effectively, that's what it does. Let's see. Viewport method. Oh, this is for WebGL. There should just be a general, get projection, world to screen point. Oh no, is this 2D world positions to 3D? I think. The last I have clip coordinates. Oh, these are clip coordinates. Model matrix, world space. It should just be an inverse of some kind. Okay. So, view matrix. I'm just trying to think. Local space, model space, world space. So when we're rendering something, we go from local space, world space. Look at my shaders. Yeah, it's just a transform times a position in model space. So if we want to go from this back to this, screen. We have to do the inverse of this. That's just probably it. Okay. I guess I'll make a helper function for that. What was it? I have a similar, not a similar function, but I have a function that converts like rotations into here. So to aircraft widget layer UI align and click world. And then like 3 world position. Oh. That's not correct, but that's funny that it even did that. Okay, so we have a world position. We want to get it into local space. Vec3 local position equals world position times. Don't we need it? Okay, we'll also need a transform. Well, wait, we don't want to get it back into. Hold on. World space. So it's in world space. World private view matrix. I must be stupid. Wait a minute. View space clips. Oh, dude, we just have to multiply with the camera data. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's it. Unique pointer application app get instance. No, that's not it. But let's see. I think it's view space that we need. View position. And it'll just be multiplied with app. Scene manager dot. I think scene manager, no, current scene active. I think that's where we store that, right? Every scene has no scene manager. Scene manager has the active camera. Okay. Scene manager dot active camera, and then camera, if I remember correctly, has a method. Get view matrix, get projection matrix. That's what. Okay. And I believe that was a. Oh yeah. Dot get view matrix. This is world position times that. And it is in the vector actually. Done vector dot x position dot y world position dot z 10 multiply that with this weird screen position thing. Okay, I just want to, because view space should just get it into this flip space. Yeah, we'll have to get it into space. We do have a projection matrix that we can just say vector flip space equals view clip position. View position times app manager dot active camera dot get projection matrix. Then we'll just return clip. I don't think we can swizzle like we can in a shader. We have to explicitly make a new vec3. And then we'll try this out. And I also never fixed that bug as to why the thing was disappearing. Now that I'm thinking about it, there's also a bug here of some kind. Let's see. Bug. Is it? Oh. There we go. So odd. If it's equal to null pointer. Angle is greater than pi over 2. That should work. I'm trying to think why this wouldn't work. Oh my gosh. Oh shoot. Yeah. Also, this has to be a vec3 now that I think about it. Vec2. I think viewport transform. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about that right now. We're just going to leave it like this. Vec2. Yeah. Okay, that should work. How stupid. By the way, for the 5 of you watching, seriously, if y'all want me to just test fly this with y'all, just write in the chat. I'm down. I need to test this thing anyway. So, yeah, that's half the reason for these streams is just to encourage testing. Bam. What's up, dude? You're down? Let's do it. I'll send you the lobby code. Although, it should just automatically put you in my lobby once I start playing. Let's see. Yeah, that's the lobby code. When you join, it should... Actually, you can't see it. Let me send it to the chat. Lobby ID 727-187. There we go. And if you want to join it, just, yeah, enter the lobby code in the spot that doesn't say name. Press join, and then play. Okay. So off the bat, the UI widget just seems to be here, even if it's not locked. And I think that might be because of just how I've... see. Yeah, let me know it once you've joined the game. I'll also probably be able to see you on the radar once you join in. You'll be able to see where I am too. Let's see. Also, the link is in the description of this live stream. is going on? Yeah, locked widget. Widget edition 2.0. That'll be something we... Ah, there. Someone joined. There you are. Okay, you can see me on the radar. I think we're flying at each other. Yeah, I can see you. Yeah, I see it. It's pretty cool. I just flew right past you. How's the performance? Any notable issues? Any bugs? The radar seems to be working pretty well. Someone else joined. Sweet. That's awesome. Uh-oh. Did someone crash? Okay, I see one guy. You seem to be slowing down there, Fawn. All right. Uh-oh. My game just bugged out. What just happened? Let me see the log. Interesting. Let me join back in. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. If your screen goes white like that, I think there's got to be a buffer, like some seg fault happening somewhere. Just refresh the page and repress play. It should work. But yeah, you had that problem. Yeah, I don't know what caused that. It might be something with the new UI, because that wasn't happening before I added these changes. But it could also be something I did with the flight controls. I tried to fix another error that was happening. I seem to have created a new bug. But yeah. Yeah, you had it. Well, I hope that wasn't having more than 2 people in the game. We've played with up to 4 or 5 in one lobby. But yeah, I hope that wasn't in any way related to that, except the game runs it. Oh, perfect. Yeah, thanks. That's great news, actually. It runs really smoothly on my computer, but I have a pretty decent setup, so I don't have a very good benchmark. I do play this on like library computers just to test it, just like, because what's worse than a library computer? And it seems to be running just fine. I've been trying to keep performance in mind with everything I'm doing here. But yeah, I'm glad that works. Yeah, hopefully once combat's in this game, it'll be a lot cooler. And we're getting close. Needs to happen soon, because again, I am so done with this project. Oh, I need to move on to the bigger and better things. Let's see. Play. Okay. UI disappears. And then if I join it on a different machine, play. Okay. So here's the thing. The UI position should be maybe. What do you want to do next? Something that's more related to like building a piece of software rather than making a game. I had some ideas. One idea was something to do with the film industry. I wanted to I'm considering making a project that lets you maybe, for any of y'all who are movie junkies, I'm a huge movie junkie. There's a difference between film, like digital film, and physical film. And it's a very big difference. So digital film came out. The screen issues have switching between tabs. No, that could be something. I'll get back to that in a second, because there is something related to that. But one idea I had was like, physical film has a sort of really nice texture to it. There's kind of a movie magic tied with filming on physical film. The problem is it's extremely, extremely expensive and difficult to do. That's why small studios can't really afford to do it, and they have to film on digital. Digital looks too clean. It's too good. That's kind of it's kind of the uncanny, not an uncanny valley, but that's the closest issue to it. I had an idea. Maybe there's a software that simulates how light interacts with physical film and lets you upload digital film, and it will convert it into that. Show more gameplay? Hell yeah, I'll show more gameplay. So that was one idea. Another idea kind of pertains to. You got the point? Yeah. So I was thinking maybe I use like compute shaders, because I can tie that into. I was gonna try to maybe like use Rust, GPUI, and compute shaders to make a software that lets you essentially mimic sort of that film effect on digital film. That was one idea. I have a couple others, but I don't want to show all my cards just yet. But yeah, I mean it's I need to build something that I feel like, because I'm trying to work in defense or in the government. That's my ultimate like career ambition. I mean, I'm in ROTC. That's kind of like pointing me in that direction, but yeah, basically I feel like I need to have a resume that kind of reflects that a little better. Making games is fun. Computer graphics is fun. All of these things are great, and I need to tie them more into what I'm trying to do. Yeah, I will. You're right. You're right. You'll never know unless you try. I think it might be a project worth doing. I'm honestly half scared to learn Rust. Rust is Rust's a lot. Who wants to work for supervillain? I wouldn't call the government. I wouldn't call defense supervillains. I wouldn't call them U.S. military supervillains. I wonder. I think I need to change how this aircraft. I really need to change the aircraft model at some point. Use Linux. Yeah, I do use Linux. Or at least I did. I had a Windows computer a long time ago that got bricked, essentially. And the only thing I could get to run on it was Linux, Kali Linux. So for about a year or 2 years, like early high school, I was just on Linux. But the thing is, I play video games, and that's really hard to do on Linux. So yes, I do need to use Linux. I've thought about dual booting. I'm honestly scared to corrupt any sort of disk corruption. That's my big fear. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. Let's see. I wonder. Okay, I wonder why this locking system isn't wanting to work. I think it might be the get widget method. My guess is that this is null. By the way, I could be working faster. I'm just being slow. Test. It's equal to null. I just need to make sure that this is actually finding the proper widget. Because if it's not, you know, then there's my issue. Play. Yeah, it's not getting the widget. Okay. Lock widget. My guess is I misnamed this. Mouse widget. Locked widget. Oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. I'm really stupid sometimes, guys. It happens. It happens. Wine Proton. Yeah, I've used all of those, and you're right, Minecraft. What do you mean, like using Git on Windows? Linux is, in terms of software engineering, usually. Use Nix OS, by the way. Nice. I'm thinking I would want to use Arch, because I can just customize it. I did actually set up an Arch distro. I did dual boot. I used it for like a week or two over the summer, and I was like, I'm just scared of messing up my hard drive. So when I do switch to Linux, I will switch to Linux. And I think I might do it next year on like my laptop. We're in the middle of school. I don't want to switch my operating system and like lose schoolwork. So that's my big holdup. But once that's kind of out of the picture, yeah, I definitely need to switch back to Linux. It is so much easier to use, I have to say, especially if you just. I don't use Arch. I used it at one point. But, there we go. Locking seems to work. There we go. But yeah, I don't use Arch. I used it for like 2 weeks and I really liked it. It's also, if you know how to use the terminal, like Linux is easier to use than Windows. Windows is really frustrating, especially for software development. But it all depends. Like if you're a web developer, none of it matters to begin with. I mean, you can use Mac, doesn't make a difference. But for C++ and low level stuff, yeah, it makes a big difference. Okay, so this works. Really all we have to do now is just get that align aircraft widget layer UI. Is this a public method? I don't think it's public. UI align with world position. Yeah, it is public. Okay, we'll just take that. Boom. UI align with world position, and we'll just say target. What was that? Locked aircraft transform dot position. There we go. That should give us something to work with. It is not going to work off the bat. Also, the way I've set up the UI screen coordinates actually does work from a -1 to a +1 system, which means this might be easier. Arch is cool. It was before NixOS. Yeah, Arch is cool. I didn't get all into like ricing my distro. But yeah, web, just use VS Code. Or just use for web development. You usually do need a fair bit of JavaScript. Sadly. Kidding. Look, man, people build what they want to build, you know. But I am curious. Okay, so I think I just need to print out. We'll just say P. And then we'll get this, put it here, and then we'll print it out just to debug it. Yeah. I will say the autocomplete features with Zed, they're pretty good. I like this IDE I've been using. It feels like a nice bridge between like a full JetBrains IDE and like Vim or Emacs, just because those are so lightweight and they're in the terminal. This feels kind of in between. Very performant, very fast. It doesn't feel like a full like mega IDE, but it's good. I think it's like comparable to VS Code, but it's not an Electron app, and therefore it's better. Okay, so that works. Let's see. Position. Ooh. Oh my. That is... Yeah, that's that. Yep. Okay, so we have some information on our output here. I'm just going to paste it just so I can keep an eye on it. Yep, I would agree. Big fan of it. One day I'll be good enough to use NeoVim and Vim and all that stuff, but for now, we'll stick with this. How long did you take to learn this stuff? Longer than it should have. I started programming in 6th grade. I started with Godot game engine before it was popular. I hated it. No shade to Godot, but I hated it at the time. And I switched to Unity, and I learned C#. And then after Unity, I started making games, but I found that making games is fun, but I liked coding and system design. I would obsess over features and not over gameplay. My games sucked every time. So then I just started using C# without Unity. And then I went to Java. And then I watched Thin Matrix, who's an awesome YouTuber. This is Thin Matrix. For any of y'all who don't know, this guy's awesome. This guy is what motivated me to start using Java and lightweight Java game library to make game engines. And that's where I learned OpenGL, probably around freshman year of high school. And it took a while because I did not like read a book or do any of the proper actual learning techniques. I just did this for fun. I learned through failure and making projects that didn't work. My first real project that I kind of point to and say I did that, and it wasn't just like a tutorial, was Megastrat is what I called it. It was like an RTS kind of thing. This was written using lightweight Java game library, which is literally just an OpenGL binding for Java. Yeah, ton of fun. Super, super fun. I actually started working on it with a friend towards the end. Java, not JavaScript, Java. Did I say JavaScript? Sorry about that. Yeah, just Java. Funny enough, I did try to make a game engine in JavaScript using WebGL, and that's when I learned I hated JavaScript. But yeah, there were some glaring issues with this engine, but you know, it worked. It worked, and the nice part about Java was, you know, memory was managed, so I didn't really have to worry about pointers and any of the stuff you have to worry about with C++. But I like C++. Okay, so this is way wrong. Let's see. Flip space. I'm curious. How do we world position to Terry Davis? I am not Terry Davis, but that is funny. The legendary God's chosen programmer. Terry Davis was a very talented guy, I gotta say. I mean, the dude was a super G. You don't just write a language and then write an operating system in a language you wrote. Like, it's crazy. It's just crazy. Screen UV coordinate. This looks like exactly what I'm looking at. Let's see if the math translates here. Or if... Solved. World to clip. It looks more like Tom Cruise. Oh, thanks. You flatter me too much. If I looked like Tom Cruise, I'd be an actor. I do like acting. I did theater in high school. That was a ton of fun. If I didn't like software engineering, engineering, STEM, space, military, any of that stuff, I'd be trying to be an actor or work in film. That'd be the somewhere that I did that. Let's see, Stack Overflow. You have an okay. Flip position equals projection times view times world space position. Okay, that's what I did. From clip space, normalize device coordinates by dividing clip. God. Okay, so firstly, I think this is kind of wrong, but that's okay. Projection times view. Yeah. Projection matrix. You can do a whole lot with JavaScript. It does have its flaws and traps you if you never run any. It's true. It's true. Going from like Python or JavaScript to low-level languages is way, 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 way harder than going the other direction. Because you just don't have to worry about a lot of stuff. Because I seriously am worried that my Wi-Fi cut out. Channel live. Huh, I monetized myself, guys. All right, let's see. Okay, I see the delay. Looks like we're doing all right. Kind of funny. Okay, that might work better, I think. Uh-oh. Why are we... Localhost. Okay. Kind of used to the terminal now. It's a good thing to be used to. Okay. No server connection. That's not good. Okay. We're in. We're in. Oh, it worked. Oh, look at that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. My stream frozen? Shoot. How on earth is this happening? I guess I'm just gonna have to have my own stream on over here. Make sure. What is going on? My Wi-Fi went out. Great. Oh my gosh, my Wi-Fi went out. Okay. Message in the chat, please, to make sure that this stream is still up, because I have no way of knowing. Please, please, please. If I don't receive a message, you're good. It was just lagging a bit. Okay, good. Basically, where I live, the Wi-Fi just goes out at night. I don't know if it's because everyone starts using it, but legitimately, after like 6:30, which it's 6:30 where I am right now, suddenly I get 1 bar, and it's terrible. So streaming is really, really hard. But luckily, locking works now. Locking works now. Okay, looks like my just a bit of lag. Okay, good. Good. Yeah, look at that. How cool is that? And then if we go away, unlocked, and if we go back, locked. Sweet. And then maybe like, oh, this is great. This is great. This is fantastic. It actually works. And we should clamp this, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. Hey, what's up, dude? Let's see. We don't need to print it anymore. It should just be this here. And we'll need a clamp. Oh, this is very cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I think actually the way terrain works in this, it's all kind of, it's not procedural, it's texture based, but yeah. So like I have a terrain, but yeah. So like I have a terrain height map. This is the terrain. And then I just have everything else done through shaders. That way, because remember, you know, this is in the web browser. So I'm very limited with, what is it? I'm very, very, very limited with assets. I have to do as much as I can through shaders because every asset that I add to this is an asset that the client has to download. C# is better than C++. Depends. I'm not a C# hater. I actually really enjoy using C#, but in some cases C# is better. In some cases as fast as possible. Like if I wanted to make this game just a desktop build of this game and I wanted to use my own engine, but I didn't want to worry about C++, yeah, I'd use C#, but I don't think you can do what I'm doing through WebAssembly with C#. I could be wrong, but in my case, C++ is better. C# always, I prefer to Java every day, even if it is just Microsoft flavored Java. Okay, yep, the clamp works. We should probably clamp it between a little less than that though. So it'll be negative 0.9 and then 0.9. This way the UI is always like, you know, when you've locked someone. And then if we have locking, then we should effectively have everything we need to start working on some cool stuff later. Next thing I need is explosions. So actually that'll be what we start working on. Let's get some explosions working. Although before we work on explosions, there's one more thing I have to do. Asset loading sometimes can freeze the game, I've found, in lower end hardware. It's because when you spawn an aircraft, so a decision I made early on was I wanted aircrafts to handle their own shaders and assets. So every aircraft can have a separate shader. So that lets for some cool stuff. But the issue is when you despawn an aircraft, the shader gets destroyed. When you respawn an aircraft, you create a new shader. You bind it. So it's not honestly probably the best design decision. It's probably a pretty bad one actually. But long story short, I need to trade some stuff off. So I think it might be create quad. Okay, graphics backend. We probably shouldn't be creating a quad. Wow. Yeah, okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Create quad. We are not gonna just do this. We're gonna have a global... Actually, I'll do that off stream because I feel like that's gonna lead to a lot of bugs that I don't foresee. So for now, we'll leave that there. What I'd like to do is I'd like to get some explosions going. I think it'd be cool. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to have another particle system. Let's see, aircraft exhaust particle system. We're going to make another exhaust particle system, and we're going to call this smoke particles. Not sure if C# is greater than JSLL. I would agree with that. I would agree with that take. Not a big fan of JavaScript. Exhaust particles equals 1. Fine. Aircraft load resources. We will, let's see. Yeah, smoke particles load resources. And here's the thing. Actually, we need to make a slight change. So we'll have a different kind of particle system. Actually, is there a way that we can just reuse this? I don't want to rewrite everything. Get instance, create quad. Yeah, we're using the same shader, so that's good. What's the draw method look like? Draw mesh instanced particles. Let's see, how are we handling colors? U alpha. So we do have a mesh material. Okay, so we're just using a mesh material. If I tried vibe coding, it would take 5 minutes. Firstly, have I tried vibe coding? Actually, I did try vibe coding like last year, and it was an experiment. It was to see, can an AI make a website? It was one of my web dev projects. Very bad code quality. And also C++, low-level systems programming, those kind of things, it is much harder for AI to do. I try to avoid it, because remember, this is a learning project for me. I'm trying to learn how this stuff works. If I just vibe code or whatever, even if it works flawlessly, like, what did I learn? Absolutely nothing. It takes 5 minutes to create, a few minutes. That's also true. For small, like if I wanted to one-shot like a pretty basic project, it might be possible. But you know, as a code base grows, it gets just significantly harder to manage. And yeah, you're debugging it constantly. It's hard to debug something you didn't write because you don't know how it works. And when you're working with something like this, which I have multiple threads being used, I have concurrent asset loading, I have mutexes, race conditions are possible. When you have those things in AI, oh my gosh, dude, it's hard to debug, and it's only harder when you don't know what was written. Now, that being said, I will admit, like, I am someone who probably avoids AI more than could be good for me because I'm trying to learn this stuff. But admittedly, just kind of watching where the industry is going, if I want to be hireable, I should at least know how to use it a little bit. But I'm scared to do that because it's a fine line between using AI to make yourself a faster developer and yeah, outsourcing your thinking, which I will not do. I can't do that. Now, full disclosure, I have used AI in this project for helper functions. Like if I need a function that does a very specific thing with a very specific input, very specific output, I could navigate the internet and get a Stack Overflow answer, like what I did for you guys, like this align UI method. I could have used AI for that. And probably if I wasn't streaming, I would have thought about it just because I need to get it done fast. But it's a habit you build, and it's not a healthy habit to have. So I try to do it all manually. But yeah, if there's like a helper function that I need, now, for example, if I use it for a helper function, I need to kind of have an understanding of what's going on there. It's not good for it to just be a black box. So there's trade-offs. But yeah, I don't like the term vibe coding because it seems to kind of take the technical aspect out of coding. I don't know. No one really knows where this is going to go. Hey, why aren't you using Linux? I play video games. I could be using Linux. It's just preference right now. But yeah, I could have been using Linux. Nice username. Thanks. You know what's funny? I actually made that username in like 6th grade. Don't know why. I still don't know why. Like there was no motivation. There's no ties. There's no reason. I just named myself this on YouTube. And the channel has been around since then. Try to disable logging in pro. Oh, you're right. I need to do that. This just came to my feed. What kind of game we building? So the game, online multiplayer web dogfighting game. It's a flight simulator. It's a flight simulator. It's multiplayer. Ah, someone's playing. I can see that someone is playing. That's cool. Whoever's trying this thing out, I'm in your lobby right now. You can see me on the radar. Yeah, it's multiplayer. It's a flight sim. It's a flight sim, and you're gonna have missiles and heat-seeking guns and stuff and all that stuff. And once that's done, I can rest. Oh, he's staying still. Will get publicly released soon. It's live right now. You can try it as is. I mean, just because of the nature of it being a web game, it's kind of always publicly released, you know? It's just what build is live. Will I run bullet physics on the front end? So bullet physics handle collision. Okay, so collisions are all just client side. The terrain checks at the local client. A lot of this is client side. A lot, much more than this than should be, is client side. For example, right now, the aircraft movement is client side, and you're just sending your position to the server. Obviously, that's vulnerable because a client can just tell the server, I'm over here now, and the server won't validate it. Now, there are ways you can validate it and make sure that that kind of stuff doesn't happen on client side. But again, it's not the best way to do things. I just need to get it done fast. If this works, I will definitely move player authority to the server. That being said, you know it's client side because if someone switches tabs to a different, if someone switches tabs and has this game playing, your browser stops running the aircraft flight logic, and your plane just stays still. And because you're authoritative, the server on everyone else's machine, your aircraft just stays still. So you know that someone's not playing because they're just sitting still. Let's see. Plug bullet library in. Bullet physics, I could. I don't think I need something that complex just yet, though, or at all at this point. But honestly, the way bullets are going to work, they are going to have to be, what's the term? They're going to have to be like raycasting, and I'm going to have to use some sort of like prediction system to like, it's going to be smoke and mirrors. I'm not actually going to like fire a bullet that travels through the air. It just makes things way more complicated once you add networking in. Missiles is going to be server authoritative off the bat. That's actually pretty straightforward to implement. I say it's straightforward to implement, but it's easier than than the bullets. But yeah, bullets are going to be hit scan with, yeah, it's going to be hit scan, but it's not going to be like typical hit scan. Typical hit scan is just you shoot a laser in front of you, and then if you're hitting an aircraft, done. Because we're in we're in jets, you're traveling fast enough to where you have to lead your shots. So what's going to happen is whoever you're locked, like whatever aircraft you have locked, there's going to be there's going to be some sort of like bullet prediction thing that lets the hit scan take that into account. What is the link for the website? The Vercel app isn't loading for me. Got an error here. Okay, if you got an error, actually write in the chat if you can. Link for the website, it's not loading. Interesting. Like, let me refresh. Okay, so this is my local build. Let me see. Yeah, I've been thinking about that, actually. I do need to do that. Honestly, I wonder how hard that would be to implement. Ooh, it'd be hard because they have to have a system to log it. But yeah, I definitely need to add that. That's a good point. What's the link for the website? Let me find. So the link for the website should just be in the video description, but let me pull up the Vercel build so I can see if there's an error. I don't want to accidentally expose something I shouldn't here. Okay, I'm in. What's wrong? Nothing seems to be breaking right now. Someone's in the game. I can see there's someone here in the game. I'm gonna try to catch up. He seems to be moving. He's not moving. Oh, it just froze. Oh, someone joined in. That's what it was. So that's another issue. So did you see how everyone kind of lagged when someone else joined in? That is because of the asset loading. So I need to figure out, I need to move asset loading offline. In fact, honestly, the explosion system is going to be kind of hard to implement. We're going to undo that for now. But I'm going to fix the asset loading issue because that's kind of a big issue on low-end hardware. The fact that my computer was freezing, not acceptable. So let's see. What can we do to improve this? Aircraft, load resources. What resources can I offload here? Aircraft, load resources. Okay. So the first thing is that load sound asset from file. Okay, this is fine. There's only ever going to be one of those. Load shader. Fine. Okay, we'll have... I don't want there to be a separate mesh for every single... Okay, let's try this. In the graphics backend, we're going to go to our global shaders. We're going to have a shader, aircraft. We also probably need a global meshes system now. Global meshes, mesh, quad. Well, full screen quad. We'll have a mesh, FX, FA. Okay, that's going to be our two meshes. Our load resources, global shaders dot aircraft. Okay, this will just be create quad. Need our global meshes, and then in what is it? Unload resources. Yeah, we'll unload delete shader. A global shaders dot aircraft. And then we'll also have to delete all of our meshes. Delete mesh. Mesh global meshes dot full screen quad. And the last mesh will just be that. Okay. And then we're going to change some stuff now. So first thing I need is to find all instances of create quad. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna say global meshes full screen quad. Those, that, for that, for that, for that, that. Water is a full screen quad. It's just a mesh. We're not editing that mesh. A different one link works. Got it. That's actually good to know. What browser we're using? If you don't mind me asking, because if it's not working on a browser, like on a specific browser, that's good information. Let's see, widget. Yeah, the full screen quads should be fine here. For now, let's change this and see if it breaks everything or not. This is probably going to be the biggest issue. Smoke particle. Yeah, we don't have smoke particle. Okay. Let's see. Run. Ah! Great. Oh, whoa. No, it was demojet.gltf. That's what it was. Message FAX. Gosh darn it, man. Sometimes I just can't type. Let's see. Demo jet. I need to rename this at some point. But, okay. Built successfully. Causes an issue. Cannot read file. Because I'm Brave. Interesting. Brave. I wouldn't have... I used to use Brave. It was a good engine. Sorry, it was a good browser. I liked it. I'm one of those people who used Chrome, used everything but Chrome, and then used Chrome again. What browser can't live WebSim 11? I don't know, honestly. Everything broke. Everything broke. I think I might know why. We need to have a reference to this quad. Because the shader... Oh, yeah, we just use a pointer. Gosh, darn it. Okay, fine. Full screen quad. Oh, this is going to be such a pain. You know what? I bet you this isn't the main bottleneck here. Oh, it's interesting that Brave would have that problem. I wouldn't have expected that, but it's good to know. Good to know. I'm gonna undo this change because that means I now have to make all of these a pointer. But it is gonna have to be a change that will happen. Like realistically, it's gonna have to. But that's probably not the main loading bottleneck, honestly. In fact, I can find out what the main loading bottleneck is. Probably like right now. Let me first make sure I'm not missing anything here. Okay, everything looks to be back to normal. That's good. Okay, let's see. Load. Okay, so first we want to use app grab global shaders.aircraft. Use that, and then we'll use our aircraft meshes. Wait a minute. Yeah, we need the shader to be different. Shader aircraft. We just want aircraft. All right. Resource. Yeah, man. I'll try to stream more often, but glad to have you here. Keep up whatever you're doing. Appreciate you watching. Delete shader. No. Move. Yeah, thanks for tuning in though, guys. I appreciate it. I'll probably be ending the stream soonish as well, honestly. But this has been fun. I'll have to do this again. Yeah. How do you feel like using AI? I feel that it hypothetically can be used properly, but I think it's a very slippery slope. I think people who like let me put it this way. I haven't seen any developer using AI in a non-vibe coded way. And that I mean, what do I know? I am a total like newbie developer, 100% self-taught and all that stuff, whatever. I know nothing. But the people who I see vibe coding, people who I see building software using AI have very little technical expertise, just from what I've seen. It's about pumping out a project. Usually it's like people who want to start a small business or a software as a service thing, and they don't care about the technical stuff. They just need a product built as fast as possible and in the market right now. They don't care how it works. It just has to work enough. And for that, I guess AI works. But like system critical developers, really talented engineers who are building this stuff for a living and it has to work every time. I personally have never seen someone advertising that they're using AI in that case. Again, what do I know? I'm not some person who's in the know for this kind of stuff, but I see plenty of people advertising AI as a development tool who are building software as a service or really, 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 really fast churn out software kind of thing. None of them I like, for example, Thin Matrix, the guy who I just showed on YouTube, brilliant game developer. I've never seen him once say, I'm using AI. And that guy knows how to make games from the ground up. I have never seen, I haven't met a Boeing or an aerospace engineer who's like, yeah, I use AI because I can develop models in CAD just so much faster. Because it's not about the speed, it's about the quality. AI is great for speed, but I don't see it giving that quality boost. I know, like I'm in college. I've seen my fair share of startups. And you know when something's built by AI. You can just, if you write code, you can kind of tell. Whether it's the website having a certain theme to it or just a certain clunkiness to things, you just get a gut sense this was vibe coded. Now, for the market, that's usually just fine. But yeah, that's my take. Probably the people who are using it best, the people who are using it properly, aren't advertising it. Like, I bet you maybe someone who's at like some really important defense startup or some really crucial industry and they are using AI, they're probably using it very safely, very securely, testing it constantly, and they're probably not advertising, I wrote this code 10 times faster with AI. Because quality is what matters, not speed. That's kind of my main thing. If I was to summarize that entire crash out in like one word, it would be AI seems to promote quantity over quality. I think that it should be the other way around, personally. I try to subscribe to the quality over quantity approach. But then again, like my definition of quality is like this, which is good, but like I'm self-taught, you know, I'm by no means some guy to listen to in terms of like good software architecture and best practices. I mean, I mess up all the time. I'm not a pro. I want to be. And that's why I do this YouTube thing and why I build projects. It's just, but it's also hard. Like when you're self-taught, you know, there's only so much you can do without getting like an internship, or it's hard to teach yourself everything. There's kind of the Dunning-Kruger effect that comes into play. Like the one comfort I have in my ability is I am under no illusion that I know everything or that I even know enough. I know just how much I don't know, and that gives me comfort. If I was sitting here thinking I'm a pro, I'm the best, I mean, this software is just fantastic, and you know, it's industry grade. Why aren't, I bet you this is how Unreal Engine was written, you know? that would be like a sign that I'm lost. I know that there's things in the software that are not best practice. I know there are a lot of things in the software that wouldn't fly with even a mid-level developer. But that gives me some peace of mind, I guess. Last minute. Yeah, honestly, look, here's the other thing. If you're doing this for fun, go crazy. I mean, 100%. Dude, use AI if you're doing this. If this is your pastime, if you like making games, and if you're having a blast with it, and you're having fun building code and building software, yeah, man, I'm not gonna at all tell you that you're doing something wrong. I would just say, like, if you're someone whose job is important to more people than just yourself, if the software you're writing is important on an industry level, there's responsibility that comes with that, and you should be aware of the risks that come with using AI, you know? I mean, that's part of why I feel guilty, like, if I ever use AI on this project. Whenever I do use AI on this project, I feel like, you know, I'm advertising this project on live streams. I'm trying to promote that I build this somewhat from scratch, but then here I am using Claude for something. It just feels like I'm lying, you know? So that's like my main drawback. But if no one knew that this project existed and I was just trying to advertise through like Steam and all that mattered was the quality of the game, yeah, there's nothing stopping me from using it. Will this game be available to you? Yeah, it's available right now, actually. The link is in the description. That's the current live build. Obviously, like, what I'm developing right now is not up to date with the live build, but like, actually, yeah. I appreciate it. Don't sell yourself short. I'm working, man. Honestly, I just need industry experience. That's what I'm really starting to realize. Like, I need some sort of like mentor kind of thing, just because I'm hitting a point where I can feel that there's stuff that I don't know, and I don't know what that is, and I need to learn it. So I just need more insight into what the industry looks like. How do you do that? You get an internship. How do you get an internship right now? Huh. Who knows? You know, I'm applying. We'll see. But yeah, to the guy who's asking if this is available, it's in the description. You'll be able to. Oh, you just joined in the game. I could tell because my game lagged. I'm gonna have to fix that lag issue. Yeah, there you are. The locking system works. I can see exactly where you are. I'll add a distance effect. There you are. That's so cool. Uh-oh. So I see there's the UI quad, the transparency blocks the aircraft. Interesting. I gotta fix that. That has to be changed. Or at least improved. Yeah, see, the aircraft is physically blocked by the UI quad. That shouldn't be the case. Let me fix that real quick. Blocked aircraft position. Let me think. Aircraft. How did I do it with this? With like the current craft. Oh. I think I found what causes that issue, by the way. I think it's if I look downwards. Yeah, there's the issue. Looking all the way downwards or all the way upwards causes that crash. Interesting. I need to fix that. I need to fix that. I'm curious why that widget up here, though, the lock widget. Lock widget. What is going on here? Scale, color, border color, corner value. Maybe there's something wrong with the draw method. Let me see, rect widget. Rect widget. Draw. Am I disabling? Sometimes I know that I disable the depth testing. That could be part of it. Draw. Widget draw. Begin draw mesh. Upload shader uniform. Yeah, dude, please give some ideas. Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it if you like it. That's awesome. That's really cool. Let's see. How do I... Let me think. What? Just apply to jobs? Apply to jobs? I'm not ready. I don't think I'm ready for entry level just yet. But if I was, man, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. If any of y'all are Anduril hiring managers, just know I'd be a valuable asset to your company. I'm having too much fun with this. Let's see. We need to fix that mouse looking issue. That's a big issue. Position. There's a clamp method in here. That's really not good. Controls, aircraft orientation, animation, particles. Oh, I've written this code for so freaking much time. Okay. I'm seeing numerous jobs on LinkedIn. He's doing no. No, dude. Listen. The problem with the LinkedIn jobs, listen, I've applied to a lot of stuff. LinkedIn, Glassdoor, all of it. It's just part of the game. It's hard to get accepted right now. It really is. It's a tough time in the industry. Honestly, bro, pivot to C++, pivot to Rust, that's what I'm trying to do. But no, I'm working on it. It's a work in progress, I'm also, listen, I'm like 1 foot in the software industry and 1 foot in ROTC. So it's kind of a balance, I'm not in every engineering club because I'm at PT in the morning, and it's just kind of like I'm doing 2 things at the same time. So it's okay. It really is okay, honestly. As long as I can keep growing through projects, like I just need to make sure that when I do get an internship, I know what I need to know, Rotate around point, global up. This is the issue, isn't it? More camera controls. So where were the initial camera controls? What does it mean? More camera movement, forward aspect, camera rotate. There's the issue. Uh-oh. This is not working. We need to figure out why. Also, remember, I'm applying for internships, not jobs. Internships right now those are not good right now either. Okay, so there's our issue. Let's see. Camera rotation plus equals that. Negative pi over 2. Rotate horizontal axis. Wonder why this is causing bugs. Maybe it's my clamp method. Let's try clamp. Let's just try that. Let's see. Is it my code? Is it me? Am I the problem? Gen type. No, just clamp. There's just a generic clamp method I think we have. That's common.gl. Floor? Do we have clamp? I wonder why this isn't working. Maybe there's an STD clamp. Wouldn't that be nice? Let's see. What's the clamp method? There's no clamp method in STD. There is. Also, I should probably start using C++25. I'm honestly not sure what version I'm using right now. Low, high. Interesting. So this should be working. The standard library clamp. What am I not including? Float and double. There's the issue. I'm using, actually, that's for profiling, I'm using, what is it? The Cherno, he wrote a header file instrumenter. Yeah. And I'm using this for profiling. It just exports basically a JSON file that I can open in Chrome Web Tools. And I can view it. Honestly, I can do that right now. Let's see. Box to profile begin session. Yeah, web.fight.json, and then we'll just do end. Once you get work experience. Yeah, it seems like it's once you get your foot in the door, it gets a lot easier. Oh yeah, the Cherno made a great it literally, he just has a tutorial online, and I grabbed the header file, and that was all I needed to get it working. But yeah, it just exports this JSON file, and you can go. I want it to have some DCS, like mocking other aircrafts, firing missiles, terrain masking, etc. Hey, actually, DCS is awesome. I love DCS. So features you're mentioning, locking other aircrafts is available in the build that I'm doing like right now on stream. You can lock other aircraft. Firing missiles will be there. Heat seekers and radar. Terrain masking, I need to implement that. I actually completely forgot. But everything else in terms of game engines, when you pair it with Three.js, you can actually get a half decent looking product out of it. But yeah, that's that's something I've noticed. It made me laugh the other day when I saw it, and I was like, oh, thank goodness I'm not like trying to make this a profitable, software as a service thing. Let's see. Input polling, main loop, virtual void initialize. Interesting. Why are some of these swap buffers and tick? Some of these methods are taking a lot longer than they should. Okay. That's okay. Let's see what this loading time thing is. Let's profile some stuff. Box to profile scope aircraft shader load. Take that, put it there. And we'll just do the same thing for skeletal mesh. Box to profile scope aircraft mesh load. Then let's see. Here, the stream will probably be ending soon, too. Just because, I don't know, I have some work I have to do before I go to bed. But yeah. This file, dogfight. Get that data. Aircraft mesh load, aircraft shader load. Yikes! It takes a second. Okay. Shader load, mesh load. Exhaust particle stress. Okay, if I really want to cut down on time, I have too much information regarding these things. Working in a defense company. That's stinking awesome. That's stinking awesome. I'm trying to defense is my goal industry. So what I need to do, if I really want to speed this up, I do just need to store at least just the aircraft shader and stuff. Oh my gosh. Fine. I'll store the aircraft shader in the back. Shader, aircraft. And I will have a... Well, not shader loading, but like assets. What if I have a preprocessor macro? Just like I have a macro that gives me essentially a C string of the file contents in the code. And then that way, when I compile it, it's just in the execute. That was one thought I was toiling around with. It might be completely useless, but it was a thought. Let me make sure this all loads. And then if I do this just one time, this should make the aircraft loading issue much less of an issue. Okay, seems like no compilation errors. I'll get a pointer to the shader and a pointer to the skeleton mesh. The game blanks at high altitude. You should take a look at that. Yeah, so at high altitude, it does blank at high altitude. So that part of that is also there is an altitude cap depending on how high you went. But it should just teleport you to the ground. The issue is probably not actually the altitude. The issue is probably that you looked too high upwards. So watch what happens if I look straight up. It blanks. That's the camera. There's something wrong with the camera. And then if I look straight down, the same thing happens. So I know there's a bug. Before the stream ends, I will have to fix that. But yeah, trust me, I'm painfully aware. Yeah, thanks for debugging this, by the way, though. I appreciate the help with that. App, graphics, backend, backend, dot aircraft. Get a pointer to that, and then skeletal mesh app. Apps backend global meshes FA. Okay, and then for all of the other stuff regarding shader and mesh, skeletal mesh, we need to get rid of this. No need for that. Skeletal mesh, skeleton update global bone transforms. Oh shoot! Oh shoot! We can't have them have same. My email, all my contacts are in my what is it? On my portfolio website. But yeah, my email should be linked on there. Let's see. Skeleton global bone transform. Oh, we can't update the mesh. We can't do that just yet. It's okay. For now, we'll just see if we can get the shader to work with this new way of doing things. I don't need to make a new instance of the shader every time. App. Oh, app's not declared in this context. That makes sense. Copy that. Skeleton. What the? Oh. There's the issue. And then there should also be in this unload resources, we don't need to delete the shader. This might work. Redeclaration. Oh. Interesting. App. There's the issue. What's up? It's gone well. It's gone well. You can't. It's sad you. What? I've got multiplayer in effectively now. UI is up to date. I mean, here's the demo so far. Oh, shader works. Okay. I need to make sure that this works with multiple aircraft in the game. You'll also get to see what the multiplayer kind of looks like now. And I need to figure out what's wrong with that camera bug. That's a really, really big issue. The fact that like if you look too far up or down, your game just crashes. That's a huge problem. So I need to figure that out. That's okay. It will be something I figure out. Okay. That works. By the way, if you want to try the game out, there is a link in the description. It is live, and the multiplayer does fully function. Interesting. Okay, it seems like things are working. Locking works again. Yeah, and doesn't block out the aircraft. That's good. Let's see. Fly past him. You can see the multiplayer functionality there. You unlock aircraft. And you don't. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it took a second. Multiplayer was rough. And it's not well done, I have to say. It's not, there's a lot of corners I cut. Like client side authority, that's an issue. But multiplayer works. If you were to play right now, in fact, despite the fact that the stream ends, I'm just such an awesome YouTuber. If you click the link in the description, you will be in this game live. It will be. Let's see. Oh, someone just joined. Is that you? Let's see. So maybe. Uh-oh. The quad is once again covering the aircraft. That's not ideal. The full screen quad should not be covering up the aircraft, but I will have to fix that. I'm trying to think what causes that issue. It's something with Z ordering. Yeah. I can see your aircraft. I'm pretty close behind you right now. Yep, there you are. Pretty cool. I need to figure out why that Z indexing thing is not working. Okay, 2 bugs to add to the Trello board. Okay. So target locking, not quite good enough for now. Let's see. Camera blanks when at 90 degrees. This is I have to add a bug label. It's graphics, optimization. And then, oh, what else? Aircraft mesh loading needs to be, we will save that for later. Oh, yeah, we'll save that for later. What else? Locking UI covers aircraft spike transparency. That labels graphic. There we go. Okay, those will be things to work on. Hopefully I have those done tomorrow. Crazy, this is actually a mostly complete Trello board. I've never had this happen. Can't wait to have my IP stored inside your server most. Yeah. I mean, look, all I can say is I have no idea how to use your IP maliciously. I use render.com as my server backend. So whatever they're doing, that's on them. But I don't, for the most part, all my server code is stateless. I don't really, it's just using WebSockets. So I mean, the library I use is IX WebSockets. If you're worried about vulnerabilities, check it out. But yeah, I'm not storing any IPs, I promise. Let's see. Yeah. Ooh, this is gonna be a nightmare. I can't really do this until I move aircraft to be server authoritative. Oh, well, we're almost done with this target locking thing. We're actually really close to being done with that. Apparently, you can only lock one target. Feels just a script kitty. Yeah, I'm aware of that. Well, I think that's probably going to be it for the live stream today. But yeah, things seem to be working well. I don't think I'm going to push any of the changes I made just yet. I want to fix some bugs first. Once I fix those, honestly, maybe is looking up and looking down bugs. What is causing this issue? Okay. So looking straight up, like this would be something to use Claude for. Okay. So here's an example. This would be something to use Claude for. Let's see. Keep an eye on your mail. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, dude. I'm glad you were able to try the project, man. Listen, it's cool to get people to actually play this at all. I very, very, very rarely get the opportunity for people to try stuff like this. So I'm going to try to do these live streams a little more. But school's tough to get this out consistently. Hopefully a YouTube video will be en route sooner than later. But yeah. Well, I really appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate specifically Nigma and Ronak Sang, I can't pronounce the names, for trying the game out and getting some good bug reports in. Very much appreciate it. But I will see y'all later at some point, hopefully.